Now let's go ahead and talk about implicit weights. Here in the solution explorer, what I've done is created a class called implicit weights, and this class will help us to learn everything about, well, implicit weights. So as you can see here, I've got a test that's set up. We're going to go ahead and debug this test just so you can see exactly what it does. I'm going to come here and I'm actually going to right click and I'm going to say debug tests. And so while that pulls up, you can see that up here I've got a test initialize attribute. In the test initialize attribute, we use a WebDriver factory, which is just a class that I created that allows us to create a Chrome driver, and we store that inside of the driver variable that's accessible to the entire class. And then in the test cleanup attribute, which will run after every single test, we obviously close and quit the driver. So that's not so relevant. I just wanted you to know that it's there for your information. And now what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take this window and put it through the test. And as we step through the test, you'll be able to see the actions happening in the window on the left. So now we're going to step over this action, and we're going to go to a URL which lives in a class, static class that I created called slow animation URL, and it goes to that URL right there. So I'm going to go ahead and step over. You'll be able to see that happening in the browser. And then once it goes to the URL, next thing we're going to do is use this method that's called fill out credit card info. Let's see what that does. Might be a little bit self-explanatory, which is kind of great, but let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go ahead and step over that. So now I'm stepping over that method. Did you see exactly what it did? It filled out all of this information. Then we're going to click this go button, step over that. And so now, as you see, we filled out all of this information. We got the credit card information. We got the month in here. We got the year. And then this last action that we just did, which was find element by ID go, what it did was click the purchase button. And then once we click the purchase button, you see that this purchase complete text appeared. And so now we're going to have an assertion, and this assertion checks to see if there's this element with ID success and if that element is displayed. So let me step over that. Looks like it passed, and then I'm actually just going to go ahead and say continue here. So the test finishes running. The browser was closed thanks to the teardown method, and now we have a green check mark. So the test was successful. You saw exactly what the test did. And we stepped through it, so you saw all the code, and now you understand exactly what's happening. The fill out credit card info is right here. So now let's go ahead and rerun this test so that you can see it executing in real time. So now the test is going to go ahead and execute in real time. I'm just running it. There's not going to be any kind of debugging because you already know exactly what the test is supposed to do. So we're just basically running it, and then we're going to see how it works in real time. So there it is, filling everything out, and then it finished, and it failed. Wow. And here's the error message saying that this test threw an exception. OpenQA Selenium element not visible exception. Element not visible. Very weird, right? How the heck did the test just fail if we just saw it pass? That is an interesting dilemma. Think about it. How is that possible that our test just failed, even though we just saw it pass? When you come back, I'm going to explain to you exactly why that happened.